Welcome to Newrealities. I'm Alan Steinfeld, and I've been talking to Hope Fitzgerald, who's one of the evolutionary teachers of our time, and she provides a tool for the mind to help us accelerate this evolutionary pace that we're in now. So we're talking about the quantum field, evolution, go ahead, continue.
Well, you know, let's talk a little bit about models of change and what the setup is here on planet Earth, okay? We're living in 3D, we'll call it 3D, and the setup there is that we have what's called duality, right? We have a yes and a no, and I like to think of it sort of like a playing field, like a soccer field, and instead of having a goal cage on one end on the other, there are two pins on either side. Now, this would be yes, and this would be no, this would be black, this is white, and life on planet Earth is usually a struggled conversation between the two.
Right, day and night, east and west, you know, it's all full of duality.
Exactly, okay. Now, to evolve, we're going to need something different than this setup, okay? So now imagine that the infinity wave comes down and rests around those two pins. Now it's flowing like this around the two pins.
Connecting the dualities.
Yes, in a flow.
Okay.
Okay? So instead of either or, it becomes yes and.
Well, that's what the yin-yang sign was. The yin-yang is the flowing of light into dark, dark back into light. It's a flow.
Yes. And so we say, though, yes and. Even just saying yes and, you can feel a little shift.
Right. It's nothing is either or.
Right.
It's a flow together.
Okay. Now remembering that it's a 10th dimensional energetic, it just lifts the situation up off of those pins. It's like it doesn't have gravity anymore. It can lift up and be free. Remember I said at the beginning that 10D is a free zone? It's no longer tied to duality. So if you pour some non-duality on a dualistic situation, all of a sudden it lifts up. And I can't tell you how many more possibilities present themselves, how it's beyond compromise. It's beautiful how things unfold for the highest good of everybody. It's remarkable. I've seen it time and time again. So, you know, I think it was Craig Hamilton, who's also a teacher, said, everybody wants to be enlightened, but nobody wants to change. You know? And the fact is that we are hardwired not to change. Look,
we're also hardwired to change.
Well,
you know,
yes and no. I mean, that's become more and more true. But the part of us that is hardwired not to is the part of us that was in the cave and everything's fine. Let's not go out and get eaten by an animal.
But there's always been this drive for the adventurers, for the visionaries, for the artists.
That's true.
To change.
But what we're talking about here is a massive change that's needed. It's not just those special individuals who would get in a boat and go across the ocean or walk across the country, you know, before it was settled. And, you know, it is for everybody to be intrepid.
Yes.
That's what we need.
I think we're in that time now. I think politically people are provoked now to do something. I think
you're
that's
right.
The importance of this time is that no one has the luxury to sit back and let it happen like it may have even happened like that 20, 30, just a few years ago. We can't afford to sit back anymore.
No. So how we're going to evolve is the question, you know, and how we are going to take a high road, how we are going to make decisions, not just from here, and how we are going to listen and become aware of a higher note than maybe we've ever heard before. These are the kinds of things that if we use the wave along with other techniques and other practices, or just the wave by itself, it can open up a whole realm. To determine a course of a life, the steps that you're taking.
Yes.
Why is it so important? So we live in a quantum world, in a quantum field, a quantum universe.
Explain that, because everyone
Okay.
defines quantum differently. So how do you define it?
Well, just the simplest is to understand that we are all truly connected in a matrix.
Okay.
Okay, so it's the kind of butterfly flapping its wings can be felt around the world kind of thing, if we were sensitive enough to do that.
Yes.
And some of us are. But to deny, I mean, science has really proven this now. This is no longer conjecture. So it does matter how I think and how I act and how I feel. It matters. There's a ripple effect in all directions from me, all over the place. And the same is true for you, and the same is true for every single person watching this and anybody who isn't watching this. We are all causing ripples. If we want to, so let me step back. If we're all causing ripples, then wouldn't we want to choose to create the nicest ripples possible?
Yes, I would. You would. Other people might see nice ripples differently, though.
Right.
That's what makes the conflict.
Let's say the most positive, the most loving, the most difficult to argue with ripples possible, right?
Okay.
Which means that I have to take it upon myself to take full responsibility for all my thoughts and all my feelings, knowing that it matters. It matters deeply. So if I choose to evolve, if I choose to raise my vibrations, you might say, increase my awareness, become more and more awakened, become more and more free, the ripple effect of that is going to be that the people around me may also receive that and be buoyed up to do their own, okay? I don't have an agenda necessarily to do that, but I'm just working with myself here. So I believe very strongly that it is for each and every person to ask this question of themselves. What am I doing here? Why did I choose to be here now at this particular point in time when we are at a threshold of a major change? For the planet, who knows? For the solar system, for the universe, I don't know. But how can I show up for that? How do I want to show up for that?
So we're here to make a choice. How are we going to show up for, and what do you say? How should we show up?
Well,
what's the highest intention?
I'll say how I show up.
How do you show up?
How I do.
Okay, you say how you show up.
I do my best to stay in the highest integrity with everything I do. I try to be seamless so that what I say is right from my feeling and right from my mind, and they are cohesive and together. And if by chance I am in a situation, of course, I'm a human being, and I get in these situations where things are not aligned, then I step back and I use the wave to rebalance myself and to get back in contact with the information and the wisdom that I know is highest. And then I operate from there.
So the wave is the leveling factor. It just kind of flows through everything. We're talking about the infinity wave that came to Hope as a vehicle for change and transformation. So then let's talk about bringing it into like a meditation and
Yes.
and going to another level as we incorporate the wave even deeper into our psyche.
Well, that's great, because you know what I've been talking about in terms of using it in your body and using it as a communication tool and all of that. This is what I call the daily wave. Okay, anybody can do it. I've just taught you how to do it.
By communicating
By
it.
communicating it and demonstrating it with you.
Right.
And
well, let's just do that again quickly for people who may have not have seen that first program.
I'm putting one end of the loop in my heart.
Okay.
And then it goes into your heart.
Oh, I feel
and then
that.
it goes this way.
Oh, that feels good.
And you could just stand opposite somebody and
they don't even have to know
They don't even have to know it. And they'll start joking around and feeling good, you know.
I feel it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can feel it.
You can.
I do it often in groups, and people who don't even know each other, you know, they're standing opposite each other in the circle, and everybody runs away with one another. And the next thing you know, you can feel a tug it pulls you, and it has like an ebb and a flow. It's just
That's
amazing.
a great tool. It's a really good tool.
It's fun. The funny thing is, so when this first happened, and I thought I was losing my marbles, the first thing I did was get online and start looking for infinity and waves, and nobody was talking about waves, and the infinity was just the usual sign. I mean, that's all. There was nothing out there, because I'm thinking, I can't be the only one getting this. This is
Well, the double toroidal form is really popular these days, and that's
Definitely.
an infinity wave. That's a 3/4 dimensional infinity wave.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But I'm saying, I was looking for it in the collective unconscious, right? Because it must be out. It was nowhere. All 2011, I looked in stores and jewelry, and I looked everywhere, nowhere. But starting in 2012, in January, all of a sudden it started popping up. And now it's on packaging. It's on tattoos. It's jewelry.
Do you have a tattoo of it?
No,
okay.
No, but it is everywhere now. And so it's become a presence. And I'm not saying I brought that. I'm saying I got a sneak preview and a tool to work with this evolutionary push. Because really, we are infinite beings, right? And we're being reminded of that expansion when we use the infinity wave.
This is Alan Steinfeld for Newrealities, talking to Hope Fitzgerald. Your website again is
WeInfinity.com.
We-infinity.com. And at newrealities.com. Also look for me on YouTube, youtube.com/newrealities. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments about the show, you can contact Hope from her website, or you can email me at newrealities@earthlink.net. Thank you.